Welcome back to season 2 of It's About Time, Conversations with Charlize and Yolanda, where we bring our experiences and expertise to the table to address relevant topics that impact our lives and our communities. This is the place to be authentic, be transparent, and be inspired. Welcome to our table. I am Yolanda Mason.
And I'm Charlize Lewis, and we took a mid-season break. We had to regroup a little bit and do a little self-care, but we are back today with our very, very special guest, Miss Raquel Carter. Welcome, Raquel.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Charlize. Good morning, Yolanda. I'm honored and excited to be here this morning.
Yes. Raquel is the owner and principal broker of Guide Realty in Lexington, Kentucky. And here's the thing. I've known Raquel for a lot of years. We've been married 18 years tomorrow, and Raquel has been our realtor for 17 of those years for all 3 of our houses. Absolutely. So the relationship goes way back. So Raquel, I just want you to talk a little bit about the founding of the company, because you just had Guide Realty Day, right?
Yes.
And so just talk a little bit about the founding and why real estate.
Yeah, well, good. And why real estate is always a great question. I start with that, and it all ties together for me. Why real estate? And I tell everybody I got into real estate because my mama made me do it, right? My mother actually was in real estate before me and encouraged me to be in real estate, actually encouraged me to get out there and do something not safe, right? Get out there and expand and just really push myself. And at that time, we got into real estate. We were with another local agency. And then again, my mother led me, the way mothers do. And she says, hey, let's go out and open our own company. And actually, she said, hey, I'm going to open the company. You want to come or not? And I'm like, well, you're not leaving me, right?
Right.
So that was really how Guide Realty started. And that was in 2008. And we originally started just a small office. We were both producing agents at the time. And over the next few years, we had a couple of agents join just out of osmosis, basically, just relationships, friends of my mom's, people that we knew. So always maybe just about 5 or 6 agents at a time, but not with any particular intention to grow as a company, just to grow our individual businesses and take care of our clients. So unfortunately, my mother had a bout with cancer, and she passed away. And once that moment came in my career, that was a pivotal moment for the company. So I had to decide, did I still want to be a company, Guide Realty, or what would I rather just be a realtor, with my clients like Charlize and Robert, and just sell houses and just stay in that space. But I had made that decision that we were really starting something bigger as Guide Realty, having an actual company where we could create a legacy and touch more people was the way that I wanted to go. And so since then, fast forward to 2020, when we did a major office expansion. Was it 2021? 2021 with our major office expansion. And then where we sit this year, we have 33 licensed real estate agents and a full staff of marketing, administrative services, and business development as well.
But in the middle of a pandemic, you expanded.
I did because, something's not quite right in my brain sometimes. But you know what? I really tell you that as most things in life, when you have issues, when we have these problems come before us, we have these traumatic events like losing my mother or like a pandemic, they really force you to sit still and make some decisions, right? Mm-hmm. So as even in the pandemic, it's like we could go out of business. That was probably the easiest thing to think of, aside from the health and all the other scary unknowns that they were. But we couldn't just sit and wait, right? So because of that, I was like, okay, we got some time, first of all, where I'm sitting still, right? Where you had some peace and quiet. So you can really work on, I guess, fine tuning the vision. Like, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to be? How are we going to get there? How's Guide Realty going to move forward? So having a little bit of that time and space gave us some clarity in where we were going. And we just pushed forward. We just pushed forward.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Raquel, one thing that I heard about you, I told you that I heard a lot of good things about you before I met you. One thing I heard about you is that you won the Small Business Award last year.
I did. So we did win the Commerce Lexington Small Business Award. It was 2021, and that was a big honor. That was a great honor. We actually got a lot of recognition and advertising for that, but a lot of great connections as well. Just being able to elevate the company into just a larger field, a larger viewing field was really exciting. And it was also exciting because my husband and his company had won the year before me. So I had to, I couldn't let him be alone. I had to show him up, right? Like,
Yeah,
you could do it, I could do it. Hold on, time
I,
out.
I love that. I like the healthy competition of that. Winning and having success. So tell me about the growth of your company, because I understand that you kind of flourished. It's kind of like an interesting thing about the fact that during COVID, we know that so many folks had a lot of issues related to business, but then we've heard these great stories about businesses that did flourish during the pandemic. Encouraging. So tell me about the growth of the company, hiring agencies, and talk to me about the role that diversity has played in your.
Oh, great, great. So I will say, so we definitely were blessed in the real estate industry that we continue to operate. It did change. There was a time period where showings were virtual, and clients were scared to have people in and out of their houses, and so we did have some issues or some obstacles to deal with in that situation. But we were not shut down. Real estate was actually included in the essential businesses because people do need somewhere to live. So that was definitely a blessing that allowed us to continue to operate. As I mentioned before, just we decided to do it just with more intentionality, with more focus. That, hey, this is what we're doing. We really, as a company, and personally, from my personal business, we are very relationship based. I'm telling you, every person that comes through here through a closing and a listing, a buyer or whatever, they really become part of our family and part of our unit. So that put us in a position that we had all these people that were stuck in their homes, most of which we sold them, that we needed to call and check on, that we had an opportunity to reach out and deepen some of those relationships. So I think just doing that from a pure place just really allowed us to stay connected, allowed us to talk to people. And as the market continued to flourish, we were just able to flourish with it. Interestingly enough, as from a diversity perspective, we are the largest African American owned real estate office in all of Kentucky, not just Lexington. And I had to count because, there are cities, particularly like Louisville, that has a larger African American population. But we do have a larger realtor base here than any of those independent owned offices. So that's exciting for us. That's exciting for where we fit in here locally. And we're not all African American, of course. We're diverse within our office as well. But it is important from our perspective, from Guide Realty perspective, that we are creating a place that people are comfortable to be. All people, we come in, you get to be yourself, whether you're African American, whether you're white or Asian or whatever, you get to come in this place and be yourself. And so that's really what we focus on as far as our diversity is concerned.
I love that. I love that your focus seems to be on diversity, but in a way that's authentic and genuine and not just checking boxes. And I think that's incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just come
Absolutely.
be you. Come be you.
Yes. That's the
I love the fact too that you don't just sell your clients a home or get them to buy a home. you have this huge mailing list and database of all your clients, and then you host events and invite us to those things.
That's
Right,
incredible.
right. Absolutely. That's just part of the relationship building. You know, again, I know you guys, we've done several transactions with you, but not everybody does multiple transactions, 5, 10 transactions during their lifetime. Some people, have one or two purchase. Some people, I have clients that are 70 and 80 buying their first home. It's going to be the
Mhm.
only transaction during their lifetime. So it's not about the number of transactions you're going to do with a person. It's about building that relationship. It's about changing those lives. As I mentioned, if we have a client, a 70-year-old client who's buying their first home, someone would look at them and be like, why even bother? But they did it. And then that changes everyone that comes behind them. They'll have adult children that aren't homeowners yet. They have grandchildren, great grandchildren that don't even know that that's something that they should look to aspire to until they see it done. So just being able to do that and keep that long term, that's the important part of it. And if we just sell you the house and close and then not talk to you again, we really, I mean, of course, hopefully we gave you great service and you have a home that you enjoy, but we really haven't done all we can to connect and impact other areas of your life.
And you mentioned your husband, Bishop. I went to Kentucky State with him.
Hmm.
And he owns Elaine Allen Construction, correct?
That is correct.
And so you all were highlighted for the women leading Kentucky. See, I wrote it down so I would get it right. So couples in leadership. You just did that this week, right?
We did. That was fun. That was fun.
So you all as business owners and as a unit, marriage, you got the
Mhm.
two kids, right? But what
Yes.
legacy do you want to leave behind for them?
Mhm. Well, that's good. That's exactly, and interestingly enough, in our couples and leadership, it was a round table, and it was really fun. It was great for us just to have conversation. Martina Barksdale moderated again, so she made it super easy for us to have comfortable conversations. But a similar question was asked about legacy, and we talked about how different we are personality wise, how different our companies are. He's commercial construction and management, and I'm residential, some commercial now as well, but just different aspects of it. But we always like to say, his focus is on building buildings, creating a tangible product. They do he takes something, a physical thing, and makes it be better. And you get to see that. And he drives the kids by those things like, hey, yeah, I did that building. I did that building.
That's
And I say,
awesome.
when I look at my perspective from my legacy, I feel like I'm building people. I'm building families. I'm helping grow people in a way that might not be as tangible as a building there. But hopefully, once you came in and out of my space, you're different. You've changed. I've done something to impact you. So we have, great, happy people in beautiful buildings, and our kids will see all those things going on. So that's really, having those tangible, leaving that impact, letting our kids watch us do it. We've had to make really concerted efforts to do that because it's easier to not have the kids around. And I'm very, very, bad, or have been bad about that before, because it's easier to do it without them, without, having to deal with them, but then they don't know what you're doing. And so, like this past summer, where Donovan, our son, he's 17, he's a junior, he spent the summer working for his father at the construction management company. And, he had to do a lot of the hard work, the dirty work, right? But he continues to ask about those projects. He went into, we bought a building that's a horrible looking building, right? That he's working to clean it out. But now he's getting to see, oh, that's where it started. But look at where it's going to end. Look at how it's progressing. Look at what we'll end up with the finished product. And then my young one, my second grader, she's buying from a marketing director spot. She's always, got ideas on ads and wondering why my sign's not in the appropriate places, like everywhere. So so they know, they're just being around it, they know and they understand it. So
I think that's awesome. And I remember coming to Julietta Market and your son was down there. He had a booth down there. He was running the
uh-huh.
booth. He had people working for him. And I told Bishop, I said, I hope you paying him. He said, he eats in my house. He's eating in my
Right.
house.
Paying him in experience and love and a lot of
Oh,
food, a lot of food.
And we know food helps everything.
Mhm.
Um, just listening to you talk, Raquel, about your business, I definitely, as someone who had not been previously introduced to the work that you do, now I see what separates you from
Mhm.
other realtors. Now I see why I
Mhm.
your name over and over again,
Mhm.
because you are making an impact through God Realty, even with people who have not met you, and the impact is powerful and positive. So I'm thinking, what's next for you? It seems like you've had so many amazing accomplishments, won awards, made an impact in the community of Lexington. So what's next? What's in store for God Realty, and where do they go from here? What's the future look like?
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. To start the year, I put 3 goals on my board that I watch it. And one is to expand our impact. So that's number one. Two is increase revenue. Because, if we're not successful, if we're not profitable, we can't impact the people that we want to impact. And number three on my board actually says have more fun. Because because this is stressful. It is. We enjoy what we do, but it's hard work. It takes a toll on you, and you want to be able to continue longer term. As far as Guide Realty, yeah, honestly, I feel like we are just getting started. I mean, I feel like we made this decision about a year and a half ago to be a different company than we had been the 12 years prior to that. We made a decision that small was not for us. We're not small minded, we're not small in energy, and we definitely don't want to be small in impact. So big is where we're going. So we will expand here. We've opened a remote office in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've got a realtor down there as well, broker, and we're looking to go to Louisville before the end of the year. So we're out here, we're rolling, and we need all of you guys. Y'all got to support us and help us get there, but we're ready to do it.
Incredible. Amazing to me. I just think that is how you have just completely set yourself apart. And now the trajectory is up. Love that.
Hopefully so. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So before we get out of here, how can people contact you? And then I want you to plug the Compass Center.
No, okay, absolutely, absolutely. So I appreciate that. So yeah, so our website is probably the easiest and best place to get us, www.guide-realty.com. And then our Facebook is at Guide Realty, and our Instagram is at Guide Realty as well. So we're out there. My marketing director, as Charlize knows, is awesome. So a lot of what you see out there is her making me look good. And we think she's a whole department, but she's not yet. So but her impact is definitely that of an entire department. So you can find us in any of those places. Also, the Compass Center. So, as I mentioned to Yolanda, we expanded our office space before in 2021. We moved from I don't know, maybe it was a 850, a little less than a thousand square foot office to a 5,500 square foot facility. So within it, we do have a training center. We have a individual conference room. Of course, we have space to do our work. We have a open lobby area, and that is called the Compass Center. We absolutely love to host in the Compass Center, so it is available to rent. We do professional development events. We do business mixers. We did our great author workshop and panels and all of those things. And we're working now with our local appraisal institute, our builder institutes, Lextropolis. We just are now hosting a variety of events. So you can also book the Compass Center from the website, guide-realty.com.
Nice. Incredible.
Nice. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you. I appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
hopefully, if anyone wants to be a new real estate agent, you will contact Raquel
Yep,
at
yep.
Guide
New real
Realty.
estate agent. If you want to be in a different place, a lot of agents are coming from other offices. They're tired of being at the big offices, being one of many that they really don't have any connection to. So So they'll come over here as well, because no matter how large we get, connectivity and relationship is still our focus. So sometimes I feel like we might get on their nerves a little bit because they're not used to somebody, like when you don't show up for church and they check and wonder where you we might have a little bit of that going on, but hey, we're gonna love you. We're gonna love you to success. So.
All right. As we close, we want to thank you again, Raquel. And we'll stay in touch always. Maybe on our next house, the fourth one. Thank you. I know you're laughing because you're like, why do y'all want to move? You ask us that every single time.
Hey,
every time.
But we take care of you. We take care of it.
You do. So thank everyone for joining us today as we continue to shape our dialogue around real life issues and real talk solutions. And you can find and subscribe to our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. You can also find us on our Facebook page. Join us next time as we strive to be authentic, to be transparent, and to be inspired.